Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Scorpio. If Scorpio is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is the message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, here we go. I hope you all are doing well. It is, what is it? Friday night here as I'm reading this. This won't come out till Sunday morning, I think. But it's been a beautiful day, beautiful evening. Hopefully the whole weekend will be like that. Here in the United States, we are just kind of embarking into our Memorial Day weekend, which is kind of, in my opinion, the opener of the summer. This is when a lot of the pools open up, a lot of kids are getting out of school, and this kind of thing. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we have for our card tonight. We have visually definitely one of my favorite cards. So pretty. I love the colors. I love there's some kind of thing smeared on there. I love the colors of the card. I love the flowers. I love the beautiful fields in the back, the sun at the top, and just overall really, really pretty card. So this is Prudence, the 8 of Discs, okay? And this is all about diligence, mastery, one of our favorite things that we talk about on here, time management. Did you think you were going to come watch a tea leaf reading, a fortune telling, and get a discussion on time management? Well, you might. And this is all about also saving your resources, saving your vital energies, and self-discipline. All right. All fun topics. They are, though, really. I mean, ultimately, they are kind of tools that we need to get to where we want to go. And, you know, if we can implement some of this stuff in our lives in a way that is enjoyable, then all the better. Okay, so the first thing I really saw when I was looking at this is we have an owl right here, pretty large. Okay, so we have a symbol of wisdom, a symbol of watching, witnessing, kind of sitting back and seeing how things kind of play out. Okay, I think that there's been a lot of movement in your life lately. Things have been going by quickly, faster than you even realize. Time is just kind of slipping through your fingers like sand. I'll tell you that in these kind of transitory parts of the year, when we are going from one season into another, so the end of spring into summer in the northern hemisphere, and fall into winter in the southern, it seems like the changes kind of go slowly, and then suddenly it's just like a blink of an eye. You're into the next, you know, the deepness of summer, the lushness, the heat, where I'm at, the humidity. All the bugs show up on the same day. And, you know, there's just a million things going on. I live in a place where it snows a lot, and we have a lot of cold months. So the moment it gets warm, we're out doing stuff all day long. Everybody up here, everybody in the north. So it's just kind of hectic. And then when you're in the south, it's kind of the same vibe, maybe in reverse though. Although I think that in some places where it cools down, it's maybe a little more agreeable to go out and do things during those winter months when it's cooler, but it's not so cold, right? So I feel that really just everything is just changing fast. Not, not the fundamental parts of life, but the little fine details. Things are kind of just moving. I feel like there's there's kind of a larger and larger to-do list growing. Okay, I feel like you've had a good amount of energy. You've also felt pulled in different ways. You want to do more than there is time for. So I think with this Prudence card, this is a lot about figuring out what is most important, prioritizing, setting aside time to do kind of the more frivolous or fun, leisurely things, traveling, vacations, whatever it is. But tackling some of those more important, goals and work and domestic and all that kind of stuff. But I think just realigning some of the tedium, some of the stuff you've been avoiding, so it doesn't get so heavy that you are just, you don't ever want to face it. And just kind of, I think also it's just kind of a vibe of slowing it down a bit so that you can kind of just see what's going on around you, being more present, being more aware. I think that's usually a big thing that the owl indicates. Okay, so we also have, and this one's interesting. I see a little heart, but then when you put it on this side, it's a wishbone. Okay, so I think, there is some amount of wishful thinking happening. I feel like you are really putting your energy into manifesting some things. I do think that they have something to do with matters of the heart. I don't know that they're the most important thing, but I think that there are some fleeting, thoughts of love-related things, maybe within your relationship. You're hoping that things can, be a little more exciting sometimes. Maybe you have a little more time. There's that time management. A little more time to be together. Maybe even something more spontaneous. As life gets busy, you have to kind of schedule a lot of, time, these little time slots of when you can go on a date together or, sit down and watch a show together, or, whatever, have more intimate time together. And that can feel very kind of like prescribed and not exciting. So, instead of waiting for it to happen, sometimes you do have to get the ball rolling. Maybe not scheduling, but, putting that energy out there. Okay, so now this one, it seems almost like, it looks like somebody with like a skirt or a dress, maybe a long jacket, but it looks like the wind is even like blowing it up and away. Well, it's like getting caught in the wind. Okay, suddenly there's a change in energy. Okay, and as I'm seeing this, I'm looking at this and there's a question mark here. I feel that a lot of this is going to have to do with how you go forward here. Is this going to be Is this going to be a change for the better, for the worse? Okay. I feel that putting your time into being a little more prudent, saving up some money, not spending as much on every little dalliance, right? Because you have all of these things that you want to do, probably events and maybe little trips and, you know, just different stuff that you are interested in. And, you know, saving some of that, limiting, being more discerning about where you put your time and money. I feel like you're going to create a space for some good fortune to kind of blow into your life. Now, I think if you go on the other side of the spectrum of this and you kind of just, you know, are like, what's the flying by the seat of your pants or whatever, you know, just kind of a little reckless, spending, you know, carefree. I feel like, and I feel that a lot of this has to do with kind of financial, right? I feel that this is going to create a space for some kind of crisis to come up. Okay. And I think this will be money related. And I mean, it could be as simple as you can't cover the bills or something like this. Okay. So, I think that just kind of keeping your eye on what you're doing. I'm not saying, you know, completely stop spending anything, but, just keeping in mind, that you need to be a little more diligent to that tempering of self, tempering of spending, and, you know, instead of doing like 3 or 4 big things a week, maybe picking one thing to do a week or whatever. Let's see. I want to kind of spin this. I feel like such a mom with these, with this kind of reading. Okay, so we also have, these remind me of like kind of Dr. Seuss looking characters. And I also just wanted to point out over here, I did see another little heart and an exclamation mark. So I feel also that, you know, slowing it down a little bit, it creates a room for, you know, that love, that little love affair to kind of grow. So that's another perk. We have this turtle. It looks like a Dr. Seuss turtle. It is going slow, right? Slowing down a bit, being in the moment, finding a confidence in your pace, you know, knowing I'm going to get there. I don't have to rush. And I think that, you know, this is kind of a real vibe, for you right now. Just kind of taking it a little bit slower. Okay. And then we have, it looks like a giraffe, which is funny because my daughter keeps, she has a little wand and she keeps saying, abracadabra, you're a giraffe, Mom. So that's really in my consciousness right now. And it obviously is coming out in here. But I think with, you know, with the giraffe, I often think of having that perspective, right? Way up there above everything else. Having, you know, kind of taking yourself back a few steps so you can see the full picture. Not just going off of every whim or a little information, kind of trying to slow down, step back, get the bigger picture. Okay, then make more informed decisions. And that is when we are able to do that, when we can think to do that, when we can, you know, catch ourselves and let that happen. I feel like very rarely do you look back and think, oh, I should have just been a little more impulsive, right? Now, Here's the kicker though. You have to try to not overthink everything at the same time. So with like this turtle, there's still movement and there's confidence in your decision making. Not constantly questioning, oh, should I change this little thing, that little thing, adjust that, whatever. Because that gets to be a mess in your mind, right? So I think just kind of, you know, taking that glimpse, really going with your intuition, but also being informed, trying to marry those two things together. All right, let's see. We have a lot of little birds, so many little birds here. We have one here, one here. There's a little one there. This one looks like a ostrich kind of. But it just seems like a very busy and abundant time in your life. A lot of things going on. Not necessarily always big things, but it's populated. Your life is populated with little moments of happiness, joy, ease. I think there's a lot of beautiful music playing. I think you get into the zone. I think, I can imagine you standing at your window, just kind of looking out over whatever your view is and appreciating the nature or the cityscape, just taking it in. And, those are the kind of moments we kind of have to like try to figure out how to implement that more in our life. And I think, something that really comes to mind here that I myself have been thinking about a lot, but with all this going on, something like breath work, okay, mindfulness. There are so many, I've talked about different mindfulness stuff in a lot of videos, but I think doing like the breathing, there are a lot of apps that could help with that. If you are not familiar with different kinds of breathing exercises, but there are different patterns of breathing that can help with bringing your energy levels, kind of, your anxiety down, calm, just getting into a more zen place. Or there are other kinds of breathing where you kind of on one of the apps I have, it's like studying or you're getting ready to exercise. So it kind of releases, I guess maybe endorphins or something to get your body kind of moving, having some energy flowing. So, there are different ways to use breath work to really help us. And it really does help a lot. Now we have an axe here. So I wonder, I saw this axe and then earlier I had seen this sword right here. And let's see if I can kind of, now it kind of looks more like but it looks like, it's kind of hard for me to show you how it looks like when I'm looking at it, but it looks like a sword. And I was thinking, it almost feels like there's maybe some kind of influence in your life. I don't think it's like a big deal. I don't feel like a Scorpio is somebody who gets influenced by others very easily. But I feel like there's somebody in your life that just has an energy that is, it's very like low vibrating. I feel like they just always have like kind of like just a bad attitude about things, never have very much good, happy, it doesn't have to be happy, but I don't know, it's not productive. It's not even, I don't know how to say this without, I don't want to be like rude about it, but somebody who is not in like an acute kind of mental health thing, which that can happen. You get really depressed or you're struggling anxiety. I think that this is kind of just their personality and disposition. They've adopted this personality to protect themselves, probably. So there's empathy in and towards that, right? But I think that they just really are somebody who is always kind of like downing stuff that you are into, that you're interested in, you're excited, you did something, and they have like some unnecessary critique about it, or you know, they're just always talking bad about somebody or something. It's not necessarily like even humorous or anything. You know, it's just like kind of a icky kind of vibe. And I really feel like you have been thinking about, you probably have even separated yourself from this person to some degree, but they kind of keep just showing up in your life. And I feel like, I don't know, I just think that it might be beneficial to you to kind of cut that energy off. Although I'm not going to tell you what to do. I just, you know, I don't know. I just feel like when we have these kinds of, it's just cutting through all of the BS of something, right? Just really precisely making a decision to end this kind of walking down the path together. Okay, say your goodbyes and kind of go off on your own direction, right? And amazingly, sometimes when people exit our lives, it's almost like the storm clouds kind of part and there's more sun shining, and you know, I don't know. It's amazing how much, anyways, for me, I know energy really affects me deeply. And I feel like, you know, Scorpio, you all are super psychic, super all about your atmospheres, like how you set things up where you live, very precise about things. You really like a vibe, really like an aesthetic. I can't think of really any Scorpios I've ever known that weren't like fully immersed in like some kind of aesthetic, or just had like, they're so on point about the details of their life. And it's not superficial. Like, it doesn't seem like a put on or trying too hard, like a try hard type of person. It's just somebody who really knows how they like to feel, and they know that the visual, the atmosphere, the smell of something, like their, home, they want it to smell certain ways because it evokes certain kinds of feelings and places in their mind. And just really overall like a complete focus on, all of the aspects of something. And so, I think that you also, like myself, are probably really affected by people's vibe. And, it's something I've had to learn growing up, becoming an adult here, is that you can love and care about somebody. You can really, really have the best wishes and hopes and, just really pulling for somebody, but also have like really, really, really thick boundaries, like big walls, and not have them in your life because you just don't come together well. And that's okay. I think that's really an important thing to admit to ourselves at some point. We have to take care of ourselves because, I just feel like if you just kept every single person in your life, it would descend into chaos. So anyhow, let's see, how are we doing here? This is my final reading of the night. I've done so many today. I feel like I'm made out of tea. Okay. And I was happy that it was going to be Scorpio the last one. I love doing the Scorpio readings. I get so, like, I don't know. It's just some of the signs I really connect with. And when I started doing readings, I didn't know that I would connect with the Scorpios so much. Although I have had really close Scorpio friends in my solar, especially in my life. I feel like I've unpacked in my mind like things about them that make so much sense now that I'm doing readings. So I always look forward to doing Scorpio. Okay, so interesting. I see something about almost like, it's weird, like cliffs in the desert. I almost feel like, I don't know, like dreams about this maybe. It seems like it's at night and there's like this real serpent energy flowing through it. I feel like you are having, or you will have, visitations from some kind of masculine, maybe kind of guide or some kind of intelligence that is moving through your life. I feel like this is very desert related. So this is kind of like taking you out into this expansive realm, almost kind of like a lunar like landscape almost, or maybe like Mars or something. But I just feel this feeling of like standing, kind of gazing over a valley, okay, like at night. And just the serpent there with you. And I think that this is really, it feels like it's so much about clearing out places in your life, in your mind, in your psychic space, intentionally doing some of the shedding, the clearing, and allowing there to be the open space, not filling it with new things yet. Okay. Just trying to sit in that openness. Okay. And trying to not find connections to things, oddly, just kind of being in that kind of that emptiness. But it's not sad. It's not like a sad, lonely emptiness or isolation, but it's kind of just like when you clear, and even like this friend, when you clear out your life, sometimes it's like you finally get access to yourself with no relation to other people, not their opinions about things, not their perspectives about things. Or your opinions or perspective about them. You have time to just think about yourself and what you want, what you need, what you think about things, right? And it's interesting to have that cleared out, because sometimes we don't even realize like how much noise is in our own lives, right? It's so loud. You don't, it's like you're in a loud house. My house gets so loud with the TV. I like to listen to music. My daughter running around screaming. My cats are, running around the house, knocking things over. And the washer and dryer's going. All these different things. It gets very loud, but I don't even realize it. My husband, Paul, Dove and Serpent Tarot, shout out. Some of you come over from there, and I thank you very much. He's wonderful. If you haven't watched him, please go and watch him. It's Dove and Serpent Tarot, and go check out his readings. He's amazing. But anyways, he'll come home he works downstairs, and he'll come home he's home, but he comes up to where we're at, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, it's so loud in here. And then we start to turn things off, and it mellows out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it really was so loud. But I think that's true about our lives. We don't realize we have so many things going on, so many people influencing little parts of us. And when we clear some of that noise out, it's amazing what we might end up feeling, hearing, witnessing, the revelations that we might have. So anyways, I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me tonight. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it's helping us get into the algorithm. And I say us because we are a collective here. This channel is becoming a community, and I appreciate every single one of you. If you have not subscribed, please think about doing so. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next video comes out. Every week I read every sign once. Okay, so in 7 days there will be another Scorpio coming out, but in the meantime you can watch your other placements. And if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read them, all of them. You know, the really sweet ones, the kind of mean ones. Some of them are funny, some of them really hurt my feelings. Those ones I usually get rid of, I'm not gonna lie. I'm too sensitive. I'm too sensitive to put up with people saying mean stuff to me. But, you know, I honor them in their, you know, whatever. I honor you mean commenters of YouTube. But, some of you are so open and vulnerable about your stories, about the pain that you are feeling. I appreciate, I mean, from the bottom of my heart, it really is very touching. And I have made some, I feel like some of you are my friends on here. So you know, I really, I know I always say it's such an honor. It truly is such an honor. I very much feel that, very genuinely. So, okay, Scorpio, thank you, thank you, thank you. We will talk again very soon.